Hello and welcome to the Week 6 edition of the Monster Pod, brought to you by thelines.com. Matt Brown, Steven Anders, joined this week by 4 for 4's Connor Allen. This is a game in which I got a number no longer available. We'll talk through it at the current number. Tampa Bay Bucs on the road at the New Orleans Saints. This is now 3.5 in favor of the Bucs. 41.5 is the total. I got it at 2.5. I kind of did the whole read the tea leaves thing, right? I mean, you start to read all the tweets from the beat writers. Carr not looking good, might miss some games, might whatever. And then for whatever reason, our line moves in betting don't really make the big move until everything's officially official, you know? And so this is sat 2.5 for long enough for people to get in. And I had a pretty good idea they were going to go Spencer Rattler as well. It was a deal in which you've heard they at least want to see what they have in this dude. And if you guys remember, if you know, the draft nicks that we are, 3 years ago, Spencer Rattler was like considered to be maybe a borderline first round quarterback, you know, and then like 2 kind of average seasons pushed him down in the draft, things like that. So I kind of figured the Saints were going to go that direction as well. So I'm in pretty heavily on the Bucs at 2.5. I would lean the Bucs anyway, even if Carr was out there, but certainly now that you get this defense going up against a rookie quarterback making his first start, I'm all over the Bucs, but it's 3.5 now. Steven, what do you think on the other side of 3?
Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion. I'll say this was the lines.com free Discord play of the week here, because if you were following, we had Bucs +3 on the look ahead. I don't know how long this is going to last, but there is one book that kept that line up during Monday Night Football where we could still get a +3 on the Bucs after Derek Carr left the game against the Kansas City Chiefs. So top right-hand corner of the lines.com homepage, join the free Discord. Again, I don't know how long that's going to last, but we got that great number. So there's nothing much else for me to do here. I will say that Eli Hershkovich did break down this game in his article this week, just from the current number perspective. He's always big on the market over adjusting for a backup quarterback, and through the key number of 3 was maybe a little bit too much for him. So you can go read all of his reasons why. I will just say, from a devil's advocate perspective, Matt, I don't know what Cansey and Winfield would mean for this defense moving forward. Obviously, it's going to make them a little bit better, but how much better is the real question, right? Because they looked miserable against Atlanta in that game. So I don't know how good this defense is to begin with. Once they get all those guys back, I'm hoping it's a little better. It wouldn't shock me if they don't cover the current number of 3.5. I'll just say that.
Yeah, Cansey's going to play. Winfield's very likely to play as well for them. So it's going to be the best version, at least of the Bucs defense we've seen in quite some time. I understand the whole thing, and Connor, I love your opinion on it, about the starter to the backup, but I think there's a difference when you go from starter to backup and starter to backup that has never taken a snap in the NFL. Like, I mean, there's just a big difference whenever we sit here and say, like, oh, this guy to this guy and this guy. I think this is one of the biggest drops in the NFL, because when you have a guy that literally hasn't played a single snap in the league, what if this was just like we were going into the season and it was friggin' Spencer Rattler starting for the Saints? Think of how we would have the discussion about this. And instead it's a worse situation where he's thrown in to have to prepare for this game in 4 days and go out there and play it. So, I mean, I get the thing about the overcorrection for the backups, but I think this is one of the more dramatic ones that you're going to see throughout the course of the season. The dude has not played a down, in the NFL. Connor, what say you here, Bucs and Saints?
Yeah, I think it's just one of those situations that adds extra volatility, right? So I want to tend to agree with you that, like, Spencer Rattler is probably not very good. He had, I would say a very average college career for most of it, came up a little bit at the end, but he was like a super highly rated prospect, as you mentioned. Like, I think he was top 3 or something like that. And it's supposed to be like coming out of high school. I mean, he was supposed to be really, really good. And then obviously didn't play that well. Not quite to the DJ Ukulele level, but, pretty similar, honestly.
Yeah.
But at this point, like, if you told me that Spencer Rattler came out and played like fairly well, I would be like, okay, I mean, maybe I could see it. Like, that's doesn't seem crazy to me. But like, if you told me that he's like the worst quarterback in the NFL, I also, again, wouldn't be surprised. And so it's one of those things where I'm not taking something against the spread at -110 at the current number. I think it's overall about right. I do think that it's not surprising me at all that Eli is playing the contrarian angle. I feel like that's just very much an Eli thing, leans into it. And I respect that. But yeah, for me, it's just mostly a stay away here. I know that Alvin Kamara picked up an injury early in the week or late last game. It's like a hand injury. He did practice limited, was DNP Wednesday. So, I mean, it looks like he's going to play, but I don't know. I mean, I think he would be a big asset there. We saw Rattler come in, or we saw Hayner come in and just check the ball down a bunch. I would bet Rattler does something similar, going forward. So interested in his props if he's full health, but that's something to monitor.
Matt, the biggest issue the past couple weeks too has been the Saints offensive line as well, right? Like that Carr's getting killed back there, and that's not getting any better this week either. That's the other really big note we should mention here.
Yeah, the Bucs are going to blitz the hell out of him. I mean, they do that anyway, so they're probably going to dial it up even more up against a rookie guy that's never taken a snap. So, yeah, I'll be proven wrong. I'll go head to head with Eli on this one all day long.
Well, in fairness, you're at different numbers, right? Yeah. I mean, it could land 3 and you both win. So.
Very true. Very true. Guys, everything we do absolutely free. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Do appreciate that. If you have not checked out 4for4 and all that Connor and team over there are doing, you got to go over there, get in on that. Not just sports betting. I know this is a sports betting podcast. They got your fantasy needs as well. So don't give up yet. It's only week 6. I know it sucks. You're looking at your team and going like, I have no chance because all my guys are injured. Well, guess what? Other people have injured people too. So they'll help you figure all this out over there at 4for4. If you haven't done so already as well, lines.com, upper right-hand corner. Absolutely free Discord. You can go in there and chat all sports all season long. For Connor, for Steven, I'm Matt. Good luck on all your week 6 bets.